Good afternoon. I'm your host, Steve Bassnett, and I'd like to welcome everybody on behalf of CANASA and Security Canada to our weekly online learning session. I would also like to say a special thank you to Eagle Eye Networks for their support and for sponsoring today's session. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Suresh Silva, Sales Manager for Canada of Eagle Eye Networks. Suresh joined Eagle Eye Networks in 2021 to lead the company's sales efforts in Canada. She has more than 12 years experience in the security industry, having previously worked for ISS, Morpho, and Pelco. With a BBA, MBA degrees, and fluent in 4 languages, Suresh also holds an APP certification from ASIS and is finishing a cybersecurity graduation from the University of Toronto. An active member of ASIS Toronto chapter and council member of CANASA Central, she is also part of the Security Industry Association's Women in Security Forum and a founding member of Immigrant Women in Business of Canada. I actually got through that without flubbing it, so hopefully somebody's clapping. My first time. Feel free to type any questions you may have during the session into the chat window, and Suresh will respond during the Q&A portion, roughly 20 minutes from now. I'll now turn the session over to Suresh. Welcome, and thanks for being here.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Steve. Yes, you did a great job on introduction. I appreciate that. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. So thank you for being with me here today. It's with a great pleasure that I would like to introduce Eagle Eye Networks for our Canadian market. This is our first official event with CANASA. And I'm going to introduce our cloud VMS. So like Steve said, let's just put your questions at the end of the session and I'll gladly respond to all of them. I would like to also mention that today I have our sales engineer in Canada, Paul. He's from Montreal. He just joined our company, so we can take questions in English and in French. All right, so with no further delay, I like to start by, breaking the ice about cloud, cloud VMS or cloud in general. This is really exemplifies what today's world is all about. People are still terrified about cloud computing. And I'm here to, to take some of those misconceptions away and fear, especially for the attendees we have here today. Most of you are resellers, system integrators, or some end users. And I would like to mention that Eagle Eye was born cloud. So we already had this precaution when the company was founded by Dean Draco in 2012. The company was born on a foundation of video management system on the cloud. So it is a true cloud platform. As most of you know, Dean Draco also is the founder of Barracuda Networks. So definitely a great foundation for IT networking and for IT experience. We're headquarters in Austin, Texas, but we currently have offices around the world. We have a 85% growth globally, and we're expanding aggressively in Canada with yours truly here in Toronto and Paul in Montreal. I would like to start by mentioning some of the features, and this pretty much summarizes what Eagle Eye Cloud VMS is all about. So there's no costs for new features. The same thing I showed you on my first slide. Why are people afraid of cloud if don't you use your online banking for cloud? Netflix, Spotify, everything is cloud nowadays. And a lot of organizations are taking steps to secure the cloud. Eagle Eye is one of the most impressive companies that I've known in terms of cybersecurity protection. So all the updates, upgrades, everything is done on the background. Like, did you ever receive a message from your online banking say, whoa, by the way, we're going to upgrade the system. Do you approve? No, you just benefit the improvements of it's done. And this is exactly what we're offering. So there's no software to update. So I'm not going to read it in order. So I'm just going to randomly talk about each one of the bullet points. most important thing, there's no servers to support. There's no hardware locally. So you're gonna benefit for something. It's just a browsable solution and have the surveillance of your video. The solution was designed to reduce cost. So rather than spending thousands of money and hardware, we're designing a hardware that could even become obsolete. Or rather, if you want to, sell a solution where you have to tie it into a specific camera. So we are a open platform cloud video management system. So it's extremely important for cost effectiveness. So it decreases the labor that you need if you had hardware and on site. Not only to mention that we also support IP cameras, analog, HD over coax. The customer service and the support desk from Eagle Eye is 24/7. So not only you have me in Canada to service you and to support you, I guess the majority on this call, if a lot of people know me personally, you know how I do support my customers at any time of the day. So my phone is always open. But we also have our help desk in Austin, Texas. And then we have that 24-hour, 24/7 support for you. It operates in Windows or Mac. It is 100% browser mobile based. Again, cannot emphasize enough, a hardware-based VMS will have an application. Absolutely, it will have a thin client. However, that thin client might not reflect exactly what you have running on the server or on an NVR. So for us, the design and the feel and touch and the interface, it's exactly the same. All right. There is no turning back, okay? The world is moving to a software as a service. The world is moving as an RMR concept. So everything that we have to today from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, everything is moving to a software as a service, and the market's growing that way. So Eagle Eye is following this trend. We were born cloud, so we're enjoying an 85% growth, but the market's growing as well for this type of business. So that's my favorite slide, because this is what my job is here today, is to clarify some of the misconceptions around cloud. Again, if you do have a misconception about cloud, well, you have to stop using your online banking today. Or if you're telling me, oh, I don't know how many connections at any given time, cameras are too heavy. Well, how can you watch Netflix? How can you download so many musics on Spotify? So it's all the same idea. I do understand, of course, the technology, the resolution of the cameras, we're talking about bandwidth requirements, but Eagle Eye has features to address those. We do have some tools that you can manage that bandwidth consumption and upload to the cloud. Another misconception, cameras must be replaced. Absolutely not. If you work with Eagle Eye, you can either keep your camera installed, we are open. You can acquire cameras from us. We have a great line of cameras, great resolution, with a great price. Or you could even in the future put whatever camera manufacturer you like, any camera make and model. Third, cloud is only suitable for smaller camera counts. Definitely not a misconception. So we are able now to manage on the cloud and storage video on the cloud for hundreds of cameras at any given time. And another one, which is a misconception on a sense of Eagle Eye, but the solutions you have out there, it is for cloud storage only, where you have some sort of a hybrid approach. You have maybe a server in place, an NVR, a DVR, and then you have the cloud storage on maybe using a public data center. In case of Eagle Eye, we can do them both. And the cloud is insecure. That's also my favorite, given the fact that I'm doing some cybersecurity certifications on my own. We're going to address that as well. So this is your traditional installation. This is what everyone is it's used to. This is what we who have been in the market for a long time, we have seen this trend. We have seen the DVRs and NVRs, great technology back then, but they do open ports. Like they do require you to open ports. Therefore, you leave that network open for hackers. You can compromise DVRs. It has to be manually upgraded. It has to be replaced. The lifetime could be a little shorter. And then we have, of course, a much more sophisticated Windows-based VMS or Linux-based VMSs who are a bit more enterprise level softwares, but also has its vulnerable, that's a tongue roller, it's vulnerable for attackers as well. Because some of them relies on Windows, Windows are one of the most breachable platforms out there. And again, just the management, just the IT management around a base VMS, a server-based VMS. And then we have Eagle Eye, which is complete cloud. We have a bridge, and we have cybersecurity approach to block the cameras for communicating with the internet. So we don't open, so the cameras, they're not reversed. So we get the cameras image to the bridge to the modem to the cloud. Nothing goes back in. So it's very important for cloud VMS. I particularly, that was one of the things that I was quite impressed with Eagle Eye when I joined the company a few months ago. Is we have our own private data center in Canada. For you resellers out there, this is extremely important. It's actually listed whenever there is a provincial or federal government, a federal project, data has to reside in the country. So we're not like sending video to US and back. So it's private. We're not relying on any public AWS, Azure, and so on. We have our own managed data center in the country. The installation is as simple as on this slide. That's exactly everything you need to put your current system on the cloud, that you can design your future system to the cloud, that you can leverage your current install. If you have your cameras, regardless of manufacturing, we have our line as well. They will be powered by a POE switch, or if you currently have a customer that has the cameras already, 100% of the times you're going to switch. And then this is the device that Eagle Eye will do the magic on. I had another cartoon showing that some people still think that cloud is magic. So this is where the magic happens. So as you can see, that's one only LAN, and then the WAN to your modem and off to the cloud. So there is no connection back in. So you get all your cameras to switch to the bridge. That bridge will encrypt that video for you, and it will give you a 2-day buffering. So before anyone asks, how about if I lose my connection? How about if I lose power? So that bridge will still encrypt that video for you, but it will give you a good 48 hours buffering to have the video. And once the internet connection is back on, you are synchronized through cloud storage. So that's ideal for multiple locations. The biggest hurdle we have from end users, and we have tons of end users approaching Eagle Eye for this type of application, because they simply don't want to spend much more money in DVRs than DVRs local. So you can just simply put a bridge on each location, and you have a multi-site centralized management on the cloud. And it doesn't matter how many users. Again, if you talk about users, or how many users can I have? How many users do Netflix have? How many users does TD Bank has? CIBC. So it's the same idea. Username, password, and you have a user. Plug and play, okay? Because it is a cloud, the same app on your phone or your iPad, it will be the same client that you on a browsable application for Chrome, Edge, whatever platform you choose to use, that will be the same interface. Therefore, when you're installing a camera, you can actually check the view from your phone. Still, cannot emphasize enough the importance of cybersecurity nowadays. Even though people do use cybersecurity, I guess they misuse that concept, because when we talk about cybersecurity, it's not just the connection, but there are a lot of layers for that. So this topology here on your left-hand side really exemplifies that pretty well. So your camera out, so the video out to the bridge will encrypt, so the bridge is encrypted, so there's no video. You cannot steal this bridge and thinking there's going to be video on it. You cannot just tie a USB key and thinking you're going to download video. Then you get again out to your router to our triple redundant data arrest data center private in Montreal. So you see, the only time we're getting connection or the signal or the command, it's from the user to the cloud, and nothing goes back in. Not the same thing will happen for your DVRs and NVRs. It does compromise your network. Very unlikely you would create a different VLAN to put a DVR, NVR, or server. You're using the same network of all your other applications. So that really poses a threat. Again, we explain about how this works, but again, cyber lockdown, the cameras cannot communicate directly with the internet. So we have a great topology to exemplify how our data is protected all the way to get to the client access. Open platform, feel free to use whatever manufacturer you would like. We have over 1,800 cameras supported and counting. As your known VMS is the ones that you're probably used to use and install, this is the same concept. And if the cameras are not listed, it is ONVIF compliant. So we do support, if not all cameras, including analog as well. All right, so what are the bridges? I mentioned briefly on my topology. So the bridge is really what the name states for. It is a bridge to get your video to the cloud. And we do have different models of that bridge. And we do have different models really to address in the specific, any customer requirements. So you might have customers who want everything in the cloud, video, the storage, and the management. Well, the management would always be on the cloud. It's not like we're trying to, we were born as a server base or hardware base, and then we're putting a hybrid approach to the cloud. No, the management in the video management system, it is on the cloud. Now, for data storage, we do have options for 100% video to be stored on the cloud, or we do have some appliances that we call CMVRs, and they have storage local. So for those customers who maybe have some regulations or some internal requirements to have video stored local and the management in the cloud, absolutely. Eagle Eye will service both type of customers. So that is what your hybrid approach will look like. You still leverage the benefits of a cloud management system, and then you have desktop rack mountable with PoE, without PoE ports, with BNC ports for analogs or not, and the range is pretty vast. Okay. Have to mention that we do have our line of cameras. By no stretch of imagination, you need to use our own. That is completely open platform. However, we do have a very comprehensive line, good cameras, bullet domes, fixed lens, varifocal, fish eye, cameras 4 and 8 megapixels, indoor, outdoor, vendor resistant, great line. And if you have any questions or if you would like to know more, I'll be here to help at the end. We also provide the switches. Again, you can use your own, but the advantage of using our own switches are the fact that you can do remote configuration and manage of those switches from our dashboard. Because if you're using our dashboard, with using our switches, you can power cycle cameras individually or the entire switch. For those customers, and those are the ones who we strive the most, the multi-site type of customers, the multi-branches and stores or offices, you can even create your own monitoring station. And then you can use our display stations to create a more like a video wall room where you can display, 164 cameras across multiple displays at any given time. So we talk about, video management system and cloud, but we're not, and that goes along the lines of, it's only used for a small camera count, or maybe it's just a basic or a simple solution. If we're moving in, and if we're dealing with commercial and enterprise level customers, they need a future-proof, a scalable solution. And that's what our REST API, it is an open, comprehensive REST API that allows you to also have any other type of integration. I mean, Eagle Eye is investing quite heavily. We have a department for the API integrations, API requests. So if you have anything or any request or any third party manufacturer that you would like to have an integration with us, please bring to my attention. We have a team responsible for that. These are just some of the examples of the integrations we currently have. They're not limited to the ones in front of your screen, but like I said, we always are on the lookout for. Basically, Eagle Eye is really trying to address any customer request. So if you have any requests regarding the API, bring it to my attention. Brivo is a sister company of Eagle Eye, so we have a very deep integration with Brivo, access control in the cloud, single sign-on. It's a synchronized platform. You can access the events, door open, and you have a video feed for that. You have your video clips for simple navigation between access control and the video. So very deep integration. Brivo is part of Eagle Eye. Again, questions about the platform, I have a lot of collateral to share, and we can also arrange a call with Brivo as a joint presentation if you would like. How do we go to market then? If we don't sell hardware, if we're not into the hardware model, we sell subscriptions. And it's as simple as you see on your screen right here. So the subscriptions are based on camera resolution and how long you want to retain that video on the cloud. All said, is this a contract? Do I have to sign a contract? This is on a monthly basis. So you can start by recording 2 megapixels for 90 days. Tomorrow, you want to decide that you want to change. It will reflect on your next business or billing cycle. But you can change resolutions and retention in the cloud at any given time. So when you get to the software, you have a camera settings that you can change individually. So you can have one camera recording at 30 days, another one at 90, another one at 5 years. And we all know here in Canada, grow-ups, they do have a large they have a requirement for a large video retention. That's your solution right there, without having to buy servers above servers and hard drives and manage all of those. Just some customers that we have around the world. Eagle Eye, like I said, we're growing very aggressively around the world, North America as well. In Canada, we're getting a good amount of leads coming our way from retail, commercial, multi residential buildings, and so forth. For the partners on the call today, for the resellers on the call today, I personally never seen a manufacturer working to give you leads. And I can comfortably say, because I've been working with manufacturers for 15 years, we have a lead generation team. We have a lead generation group that their job is only to make cold calls, qualified leads, set up emails, or set up events, set up meetings, set up demos. Once we qualify the leads, we don't sell direct. We will give you the leads. We will hand off leads to only certified resellers in Canada. And I'm here, yours truly, to help and to filter those leads to you according to your geographical reach. Again, another thing that I'm impressed, I kept 2 slides of the partner program. We have way more, but the time is short today. I would love to address and show you more of the advantages of becoming a partner. But those 2 slides I really wanted to show because they are very different from any other partner program that you were used to. This cloud call program, we are going to work for you. Give me a list of your customers, and then I'm going to call them on your behalf. And I'm going to say, hello, customer number 1. I'm calling on behalf of integrator.com. Would like to educate today on a cloud VMS that we have just put in our portfolio, Eagle Eye. Allow me to explain how the video management will work. We'll put a report together. We'll give it to you. We'll show you who are the interested leads. Project registration, great. So you have your discount level, but we also have additional discounts for those. Guys and girls, if you have a customer who is still a bit skeptical about cloud, let them try it. Reach out to me. Let's give them a bridge. Let's just put that bridge working on their current cameras. I will guarantee you that once they put that image on the cloud and they can access that video from anywhere in the world with a username and password, 99% of the time they will move to cloud. Let's help those those people are still in the analog world. We'll give you some very aggressive pricing on the bridges that do provide BNC ports to try to upgrade those legacy systems into IP. So we do have analog IP bridges that are used for this program. So I wanted to make this presentation at 20 minutes and make it for the half an hour window, but I would like to leave my contact information there. That's my phone number, my email with Eagle Eye. I haven't put Paul's email now, but if you reach out to me, we also have Paul to design and answer questions on the engineering side as well. And with that, I'll leave to you, Steve.
Great, thanks, Therese. That was excellent. If anybody has any questions, please type them into the Q&A window at the bottom of your screen now. And we had a couple come in while you were speaking. First off, is there any compression used by the bridge unit?
Compression of video?
It doesn't say, but I assume so.
Well, because the video on the bridge, because we're not saving that bridge specifically, the bridge that is moving to the cloud, we're not compressing any video on it. So we're just basically providing a buffering drive to keep the video, because we have two videos. We have what we call the preview, which is a lower resolution and a lower frame rate. And the reason being we have a preview, which will be on the thank you slide, you can see. So you can have all your cameras running at the same time here. That video will have lower resolution and lower frames per second, because we are able to see hundreds, if not thousands of cameras. But as soon as you click on that video and bring that image from the cloud, it will give you, and then maybe that's what the question, it will give you the video of the whatever resolution that particular camera has. So if it is a 4 megapixel, and if you set up for 30 frames per second, that's what you're going to see.
Great, thank you. Next up, is there any NFR kits available to demo to customers?
Absolutely. So that was on my one of my previous slides. Once we know we have a reseller or an onboarding program in place, and that onboarding program does have a bridge not included. We have a program, and we can go in details about how the program works to become a reseller. But after you become a reseller, and if you have a customer that would like to do a demo, absolutely, we will lend you a bridge, and we'll let that customer try it for 30, 60, up to 90 days.
Great, thanks. Next up, do you have video data analytic engine on demand? So we have, yeah, again, because the time I couldn't really show our software our software, but we do have 5 analytics that are available to you of a click of a mouse. So you have all the analytics. It's people counting, line crossing, perimeter control, people counting. So we do have those analytics that are available for you to enable and disable them at any given time. They are already on your platform. So you click on the camera, you can set up per camera. You can set up different analytics. You can have as many as 5 running on the same, of course, not ideal, but you can have it. And then we partner with through API with partners for more advanced analytics. We have license plate recognition. We will have searching, smart search, and then so on and so forth. Great, thank you. Next question. Can resolution and cloud retention be set individually for each camera?
I love that part. That's my favorite. Yes, you can.
Well, that was a quick answer. I must say I wasn't ready for that one.
Yeah, I love that, because that's one of the advantages of an our system. So you can actually configure individually per camera. So you can set up, say, a camera that is not that critical for have a lower resolution and a lower frame rate, and that would definitely decrease, or it would be a cost on a monthly basis. But then if you have your critical areas, like maybe a lobby area, when you want to have the highest resolution and recording and the highest frame rate. So even though you might have 10, 15, 20 cameras on a site, each one of the cameras can have different configurations for the cloud.
Thank you. That gave me time to get the next question in. And this is going to be our last question, just for time constraints. What are the minimum internet requirements for uploading video?
Excellent. Yeah, I'm glad that actually that question came up. So again, it would be ideal to show you the actual software, and I have graphs to show you what the bandwidth consumption are for all the cameras within the bridge. And even though the number I'm going to give it to you, it is an average. That's the rule of thumb, which is 0.5 megabits per second for every 1 megapixel camera. Okay, so just the calculations is that. So we do have a guidelines, we do have our wizard to help you, but that's the general average consumption. 0.5 megabits per second for every 1 megabits per second for every 1 megapixel camera. But like I said, on my software, the demo software we run, we can see the graphs on the consumption of all cameras. Sometimes they're even consuming way less than this. And keep in mind, you can schedule that upload. It doesn't need to be doing your heaviest workload during the day. You can configure to upload that video at the end of the day, overnight. Don't confuse about, oh, so if I am uploading video just at midnight, I won't have video during the day. No, it's an on-demand, but if you can schedule, you're definitely gonna leave your pipe free for other applications. But if you do have a consistent network upload, you can have that video automatically being uploaded to the cloud with 0.5 megabits per second.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to Suresh Silva and to Eagle Eye Networks for their support.
Thank you very much, everyone.
We look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, be well.
Thank you.